This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
You ready? Finally, let's do this.
All right.
All things are down the table, right?
Yes.
Perfect. You got that, right? Okay.
Hey everyone, you're listening to The Public Affair with me, Andrew G. I see someone different every episode, but do me a favor, keep it between us.
Now, before we can... Wait, do that one again. I didn't like that. I'm sorry, I did not like that.
Hey, by the way, do I look at the camera?
When you talk to me, you talk to me.
Okay,
if you
okay.
wanna address a bitch that gave you beer and she lied about it, then you can talk to the camera. Okay. Yeah, let's start over. I'm sorry, I just didn't like that. Okay. Sorry, I'm not a diva, I promise. Okay. Mm-hmm. Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Andrew G, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Public Affair. Now, before we continue with absolutely anything, I just want to ask you guys graciously to please go to my description, follow the link for Baby of the Year, because my little nephew, GIAN'CARLO Maldonado, is in the running, and as of the recording of this episode, he is currently in the top 10. We need him to be number one, baby, because let me tell you something. GIAN'CARLO has been a trendsetter since conception. When they told his parents that he was going to exist, he's been setting trends since then, okay? And he's just so cute, and he's so cutesy-wootsy, and every time you see him, it makes you smile, and he's just a cute little baby. So he's currently in the running for Baby of the Year. Voting is open right now. Follow the link in my description. Please, I encourage you to do so, and thank you guys so much in advance. You can cast one free vote every 24 hours, and you can also donate to vote more times. So please follow my description, follow the link, and vote for GIAN'CARLO for Baby of the Year. All right, guys, so I'm super excited to record this next episode of the show because this is somebody who I'm really happy that we did not get her on this show when we talked in 2021. I'm really happy that we did not, and I'm going to tell you why. She said all bets were on the table. This is going to be a very, I hope to be informative episode for a lot of people who are struggling with this current illness. By illness, I mean addiction. And so, we could talk a little bit more about that. Now, before we continue, I want to thank Josh, Rogue Media Network, and all of you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we're going to give a shout out to just a few of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. This episode is brought to us by David Santabañez with Alinea Real Estate. He's the number one sales agent in his office. He's going to help you buy a home or sell your property. If you guys don't know how to buy a house, you guys don't know what the home buying process entails, are you scared, whatever the case is, my boy David Santabañez is going to make sure he walks you through the process step by step and make sure that you're involved in every single aspect. That's why he's the number one sales agent at Alinea Real Estate and has been since he's been sponsoring The Public Affair. He's such a great guy, so easy to work with. Sabla Español también. David Santabañez, thank you so much for all you do for me and the show. Of course, to Anika Armstrong with Armstrong's Bayou Cafe, serving the most authentic Creole and Cajun cuisine with a wide selection of signature crab cakes, pasta, seafood, and more. You guys, I love going over there and getting a fried shrimp basket. It's never too overwhelming, but you know, my favorite is absolutely any pasta that you can craft yourself with the chives, with the crawfish, with the chicken, the creamy Cajun sauce that's made in-house. Oh, it's addicting. I love it so much. Go check them out at Union Hall, Union Grove, or you can ask for catering as well. Armstrong's Bayou Cafe, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Manny Guerrero at Blue Star RV Services, and he's a mobile RV tech who fix all RVs, travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and so much more, and food trucks as well. He just helped my last guest and inspected that AC because that AC was not working and it was giving sweaty on top of them dumplings, okay? And we did not want no sweaty dumplings, but that's okay because Blue Star RV Services went out there and took care of it. He can take care of you as well. Manny Guerrero, thank you so much for all you do for me and the show. And of course, to Jeff Davis, the Texas car plug at University Mazda Kia. You can hit him up to get the best deal on a brand new or pre-owned vehicle. Listen, no credit, bad credit, credit's not crediting, whatever the case may be. My boy Jeff Davis is going to make sure that you are taken care of and make sure that you're rolling off the lot in something super sweet, and that's going to make you happy no matter what's going on. Jeff Davis is definitely the man to work with, and he's so easy to talk to as well. He's just got this warming personality that makes you want to talk to him more and more, and that's it. Jeff Davis, thank you so much for all you do for me and The Public Affair. I truly appreciate it. All right, guys, like I said, I've been super excited to have this next guest on the show. We talked 3 years ago, right?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We talked 3 years ago, Brittney.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something right now. I just knew when you called me you were drunk. I just knew when you called me.
What was there a night that I wasn't drunk, if we're being honest?
Okay, yeah. But you, because you know what's, and you know, by the way, when we have this conversation that we're about to have, I want you to know that there is no judgment.
Oh, yeah,
I want you to know that while I'm not an addict or have never been an addict myself, I've definitely been exposed to it. Mm-hmm. So I know how much of an ugly illness it is. Yes. And I want you to know that you're in a safe place. Okay. And if I say something that makes you want to punch me in the face, you can do that. And we'll get all the views. Okay. But you know, and first of all, Brittney Garrett is my next guest onto the show, and she is here going to talk to us about sobriety, recovery, and accountability. Brittney reached out to me in 2021 regarding a story that took place in 2016.
Yes.
I believe. You had an accident off the Twin Bridges, and a lot of people were under the impression that the accident was due to texting and driving.
Yes.
Okay. How much of that was true?
It was all true.
It was all true?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it was from texting and driving, yes.
From texting and driving.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you drinking and driving?
No, that night I was not drinking.
Okay. So you were not drinking that
No.
night. Oh, okay.
Thank
Got
God.
you. Okay.
Yeah, no, that night, yeah, thank God I was not drinking.
Okay.
that
Okay.
night. Yeah.
So if
That would be my third DWI if I was. I would be in
Please
prison
not.
right
Okay,
now,
gotcha.
probably.
So, when we spoke in 2021, I guess I was under the impression that you were drinking that night.
No, yeah,
Okay,
no, I was
okay.
not drinking that night. The night that I called you, yeah, I was drinking that night.
Okay.
But more of just, I guess, just to touch base on the story of distracted driving.
Yes.
Which was, I would say that having my accidents kind of what led more deeper into my addiction is what that did.
Oh,
But
okay.
the night of my accident, no, I wasn't drinking the night of my
Okay,
accident.
you were not
Yeah.
drinking.
No,
okay,
no,
okay.
definitely not. No.
Okay, Brittany, I could just recall a different story. Not calling
Yeah.
you a liar.
No, yeah, yeah,
I
no,
just recall
no.
a different. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
no,
got
no,
you.
no.
Yeah, because when I was looking back at it and everything, I thought, wow, it must be a lot of pressure to that this other narrative is not being told. You know what I mean? That's a real narrative. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
But just for the record, that wasn't the case. And
No.
maybe a lot of people might have think so because knowing you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that night, I had actually left work, and I was headed to my son's dad's house.
Okay.
So yeah, I wasn't drinking. I was very, probably not in the right mindset because I was really angry. And that's why when my phone went off, I had picked my phone up because it was my son's dad that was texting me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, it was more, just distracted driving. But definitely, some trauma that I went through that accident that led me down the wrong path of getting deeper into my addiction.
Sure. Let me ask this question then. Were you having the issue with addiction even prior to that then?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
you were, and it just so happened to be this one night you weren't
Yes.
drinking.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, I was
gotcha.
not drinking that
Okay,
night.
gotcha.
No, yeah.
And so, when this tragic accident happens, right, and then you're getting all this notoriety, and I just can recall everybody. First of all, I'm glad you're okay, right? I'm glad that you survived
Yes,
that
yeah.
crash.
Thank you,
100%. Let's start there, right?
Yeah,
Because
right,
for some
yeah.
reason, the world that we live in, when bad things happen, it's supposed to be excusable, and it's not at all, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm really happy that you survived that, by the way.
Yes.
And I guess when that incident took place, now you're getting all this attention and everything like that.
Yeah.
We mentioned earlier pressure, right? And so was there a lot of pressure on you that I guess contributed further to the addiction, to the drinking?
I wouldn't say pressure. I mean, it did bring a lot of publicity towards me. You know what
Right,
I'm
right.
saying? So I wouldn't say so much pressure. It did open my eyes to life itself, knowing that, wow, what I survived was a miracle. I mean, nothing less, nothing more, a miracle. And so I would say I did get sober after it happened, knowing, man, God gave me a second chance at life. But it didn't stick. Like most addicts, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The fact that I almost lost my life didn't save my life.
Yeah, sure.
And that I continued to drink and I continued to do more things after that. That is what I would say from that.
Okay,
So,
got you.
yeah.
One person I didn't give a shout out to before we started recording was, of course, our friend Denise Trevino, because I called her and she said, you got to get Brittney Garrett on the show.
She what? Say it again?
She did say that I should get you on the show, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She
Cool.
said you were a very lovely person, and
What's
I said,
your name? I didn't hear
Denise
you.
Trevino.
Denise. Oh, Denise.
Oh my
yes,
God.
Yes,
Brittany.
Denise. Oh, okay, I didn't hear the first
Brittany,
time.
let me find out you were drinking before the show.
Yeah.
And we have an episode about sobriety.
Me and Denise were on the drum line in high school together.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to party in high school, man. Me and her, we used to drink vodka before football games. Man,
But there
was
was no issue back then, though,
Back
right? With the
then, I
drink?
mean, I don't think so. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Because they say alcoholism, it's a disease that you're born with, that you have, that you don't know you have. So did I have it then? I don't know. I mean, I would think we were just having fun in high school.
She said, "Who are you talking?" I said, "Denise."
Denise, yeah, sorry, I didn't hear you. Sorry, Denise.
Oh, you didn't hear me. No, it's okay. I know Denise is gonna be like, "You bitch."
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Okay.
I follow her every day now too. With her
Her
workouts.
fitness.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, she's a badass.
She's ripped.
Yes.
Yeah, she's
yes.
ripped. I love her.
For sure.
Okay, so it's funny that when we talked earlier and when I introduced you on the show, back in 2021, again, I remember the phone call vividly. Okay? And I just remember you wanting to come on the show talking about your addiction
Yeah.
while being plastered on the
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
That didn't. I honestly don't. I don't understand that. I think like a lot of us. I was probably in a state of mind where I wanted to be sober, where maybe there was I wanted to talk about my addiction, why I was in addiction, which doesn't make sense.
Right.
Maybe that was my first call out for help. Like, hey, I want to get sober and I want to talk about my addiction. When when I was plastered, I don't know that. But two, there was time from. When did I first try to get sober? I mean, there's been so many times I've tried to get sober. Probably
Yeah.
2018, 2019. Well, my
Right.
accident was when I first tried.
Yeah, sure.
Then, I'd get sober, and then you just fall right back into it. Unless you're serious about wanting, you got to find a meaningful reason to be sober. You know?
I guess, to find out what the issue that was, what was life for you like growing up? I mean, were you around addiction and stuff like that?
I wouldn't say it was around addiction. I mean, and this was something in when I went to rehab that they asked. They were like, they say it's a trauma from when you're a kid. But me, man, I had an awesome childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My parents are still together. They've been together for almost 50 years. You know?
Okay, gotcha.
So growing up, I had a great childhood. We went on the vacations. My parents gave me everything me and my brother wanted. It wasn't so much that I was around addiction. I mean, my parents drink, but not like me. It's not like how I am or how I was,
Yeah, sure.
So it's not so much that I was around addiction, man. I don't really
Okay.
know what drove it through me. I mean, I guess when I started drinking at a young age.
Yeah, sure.
I was about, how old was when I first got drunk? 14, 15?
All
I was
you
young.
Texans, yeah. Y'all be drinking with your parents when you're 10 and shit.
Yeah, right? Yeah, no,
That's
nothing like
that's
that.
a
I mean, the
Texas
stories
thing.
that I
Okay,
hear,
yeah, for
like,
sure.
man, when I was in rehab, the stories I would hear, I was like, wait, what? You smoked crack when you were 11? Like,
Right.
what? Like, yeah, so
Yeah.
it's nothing like I had a childhood like that. No, so definitely not drugs either. Like my parents never did drugs.
Right.
But now my parents, like I said, they drink, but not excessively to the point like how I used to drink.
Most definitely. And it's crazy too, because a lot of the people that I've known that are addicts or that have, dealt with that, they've generally come from really good backgrounds.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
really,
it's
yeah.
always those people. When did you realize that you were, what's your vice? Was it alcohol or was there more involved?
My DOC was definitely alcohol.
Yeah, okay.
DOC is drug of choice.
Yeah.
That's what we call definitely alcohol, but the alcohol led to other things.
Okay. Can we be open? Like what?
Like what? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Like what did the alcohol? Yeah.
It led to coke, meth.
Yes.
I mean, you name it.
Oh,
I was
wow.
since I was 20, just off and on doing drugs. You know what I'm saying? And I'm open about it now, just because I went to rehab and people do things behind closed doors that they don't want to talk about. But now that I've been as sober as I have been, I'm okay with talking about it.
Yes.
And I know in high school, and this is something I've always said since I went to rehab, is they say that weed is a gateway.
Yes.
I personally, I don't think so. I think it's alcohol. Alcohol is what leads people because, you get drunk, you're not in the right mindset, and you do things that you normally wouldn't do with the sober mind.
That's
You're
true.
not thinking
That's
about the consequences. You're just you get drunk. And I mean, not everybody, though. I personally think it's just people who are alcoholics.
Right,
it's
right.
the way our brain processes. And, it's never just one.
Sure,
Never
sure.
just one.
So were you using and drinking even, was this before motherhood too? Or
No,
Okay.
no. Drinking, yes, no.
Yeah.
Drugs wasn't until after.
It wasn't until after. Okay,
Yes,
got you.
yes, wasn't till after.
So, God, whew. Every time I talk about addiction, it's I've said it in prior episodes as well. I've definitely been exposed to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've seen people that I love really just let that crash their life, just twofold. You know what I mean? Visiting your past, and how do you think it had affected your family dynamic, especially with your parents?
How did it affect my family?
Yeah.
It was rough. I mean, now, thank God, since I've been sober, me and my parents' relationship, it's, oh my God, they're my best friends. It's pretty much who I hang out with my free time is my parents and my son.
Yeah.
But yeah, during my addiction, my parents, I mean, they finally, just stopped talking to me. It got that bad.
Sure.
And sometimes that's what you have to do when you see somebody you love going through addiction. You have to step back. You can't enable them. You can't sit here and keep bonding them out. I remember the last time, man, I was in jail and I called my parents, and when they said no, and the fact that I didn't have any, who else are you gonna call?
Sure,
That's
sure.
who you always call. You call your mom, you call your daddy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember when they wouldn't come get me, I was like, okay, wow. So we're at that point now.
So were you mad at that point though?
Um,
Were you mad at them at that point?
I would say I was mad at them, but
Yeah.
too, I was more mad at myself
Okay.
for putting myself in that position again. Because I
Yeah.
don't know if you've been to county, Highway 6, but it sucks.
I've never been.
God,
I
it's horrible.
always wondered if I'd make it.
Yeah, no, it's horrible,
Yeah,
dude.
okay.
I've been in some other counties.
Okay.
That's some other stories. And I would say Highway 6 is the worst.
Really?
Yes. it
Out
is
of
the
all the
worst.
counties?
Yes.
It's
I mean,
supposed
not
to be
all.
nice,
Like, I've
yeah.
been to so many counties.
Yeah.
Shreveport County.
Girl.
That's another story.
Okay.
But yeah, I went to Shreveport County. They actually gave you socks and stuff. So it's like, yeah, once you go to Highway 6, you don't ever want to go back.
Is
And
that
every
right?
time you
Okay.
go back, you're just like, I promised myself I wasn't going to
Sure.
come back. Yeah.
How
you
many
know?
times were you arrested and it was alcohol related?
I would say, and this is something I asked my dad to make sure I could tell this story.
Okay.
So the first time I got arrested was with my dad. It wasn't my dad's fault at all.
Sure.
It was totally mine. We went to a Rangers game and we came back and we were supposed to go to IHOP. And instead we went to the bar, PJ's and the one that's still open, Crying Shame.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we both got arrested for a PI. That was my first time getting arrested.
Okay.
And I look back on it and I'm just like, I was telling my dad today, I was like, I'm so glad that we didn't have a McLennan County mugshot back then. Because could you imagine, dude, like Brittany and her dad side by
Because
side?
you're also that girl that survived the crash from this.
Yeah,
Wind
yeah,
bridges.
and this was,
So you were like popping at the time.
was this after or before? This was before.
So the accident was in 2016. 'Cause I
Yes,
researched
this
it
was,
yesterday.
and this
Yes.
was before, because I was
Okay.
21, 22 when this happened.
Okay.
So to answer your question, how many times I've been arrested, alcohol related, I'm just about to get off probation for my second DWI. And how many PIs I have? 3 or 4, I would say. Yeah, and then that's when I should have realized I had a problem.
Sure.
Yeah.
Brittany,
definitely.
yeah, that's a good point. When did you realize, oh shit, like this is serious? You know what I mean?
So after, I would say when I had my first DWI, I went to the doctor and I had got diagnosed with fatty liver disease. That was kind of when I realized that I have a problem.
You're hitting the bottle too hard.
Yeah. I kind of realized, and I quit drinking. Thank God I quit drinking because you can reverse it at that point.
Sure.
So I quit drinking for about 2 months, lost weight, and went back to the doctor. Blood levels were great. But this was in 20s. I got sober in 23. So this was like about 21, 22.
Yeah. When
give or
you
take.
called me, yeah.
Yeah. And so then I guess I kind of realized it was a problem. But when I really realized that my life was going to shit was when I checked myself into rehab.
Right.
I caught my second DWI, totaled my vehicle. I didn't have a place to live.
Yeah.
And I was on the verge of losing my job too. And so, yeah, I checked myself into rehab. This was June 13th of 23.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now you've been to rehab more than once though.
So I tried to go to rehab once.
Okay.
And all I did was I went to Florida and I went for a detox, and my insurance, something happened with my insurance. And so that happened in August. I came back, and then that's when I got my job at Amazon. And I was sober. My friend let me move in with her. My friend Heather
Yeah.
LeMay. Love you, Heather.
Hey, Heather.
Her and her mom took me in, and I got a job at Amazon, and I was doing great, man.
Sure.
I was doing great. And I had a month left on my first CWI. And I moved in with a guy. Big mistake. Oh yeah, like big mistake, because he was drinking.
Sure.
It was not good. So yeah, and from there, that's when it just kind of went downhill. Like, it's crazy how you can do great for like 3 months, 4 months, and everything is
Right.
great.
So you never actually spent time
No.
in rehab.
That
Okay.
time that I checked in, that
Yes.
was my first and hopefully my only time.
Yeah.
going
So
to
how
rehab.
long were you there?
95 days.
Okay, so you were there for 95, but it didn't cure you though, because you still came out and were drinking.
When I came out, what? Say it again?
When you went to rehab. Hold on, I'm sorry, I lost track.
Yeah, no,
You went to rehab for 95 days, but you weren't better after that, right? Like,
No, yeah, I was.
You were?
Since
Okay.
I've been to rehab, I've been sober the whole time.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
got you. So this was
Yeah.
back in 2023.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
got you. Okay, so you were never in rehab before that.
No.
Okay,
I
gotcha.
tried to go to rehab,
Yeah.
and that's
so
when
what
I
is
went
what
to
is
like the
try to go to rehab?
I went to detox in Florida. Like I got on a plane, man. And like, this is when I was working at the pawn shop, and I was thinking, okay, well, I'm just gonna go to. Maybe that was when I realized I had a problem.
Yeah,
I was
okay.
like, hey, I'm just gonna get on a plane because this guy was like, hey, we'll pay for it, and
Okay.
that's another subject. There's certain rehabs I feel like that only do it for the insurance, and this
Yeah,
might
yeah.
have been one. This definitely was one
Okay,
because
okay.
he's like. I got there. They paid for my plane ticket. They took me somewhere to Florida, and it was a weird, sketchy detox place. And it almost made me feel like because they just kicked me out after they said my insurance wouldn't. They wouldn't take my insurance.
Okay, guys. So it was less about actually helping you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, no, it was not a good
Yeah, it was just
experience at
about
all.
getting
so,
money.
yeah.
Well, and I ask you that too because a lot of people that do spend time in rehab and things of that nature, a lot of times it doesn't help them, and they usually go back more than once.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh
And-
yeah,
and so-
no. So my plan when I went to rehab, the real rehab, was 30 days.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I just need to get clean. I need to just I don't know what I was thinking, honestly. I mean, I was so messed up at that point in my life. I just knew I needed help. So I went to Sunshine Recovery in Bastrop. And my plan was 30 days. And within those 30 days, people who had left from just being there for 30 days relapsed and came back. And there was another guy that I met. He was from New York. His name's Angel. He kept telling me, he's like, girl, just do the whole 90. Don't do 30 here, 30 there, 30 here. Because it was hard. I mean, I was away
Sure.
from my son. It was
Yeah,
summertime.
yeah.
I was away from my kid. I was away from my family. He was like, just do the 90. Just do the 90 now. And I listened to him. And sure enough, I did 45 in Bastrop. And
Okay.
then I flew out to Colorado and did my remaining 45 there. Or it was like 50.
Yeah. Was there a reason why the change from Bastrop to Colorado?
They were sisters.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah. It was and I love the mountains. Yeah, I love the mountains. I was like, might as well make it a journey, like a vacation. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
okay.
Say a vacation, but being in the mountains versus
Right.
being awake like in Texas, we don't really have mountains. So
I got you.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
beautiful. It was very
Okay.
beautiful.
Well, I'll tell you what. I want to learn a little bit more about your, rehab. I want to learn more about what an alcoholic is to you and how it affected your motherhood as well.
Okay.
Okay. Now, we're gonna take a quick break though. When we get back, guys, we're gonna have more of my very special guest, Brittney Garrett, is here to talk about her journey in sobriety, recovery, and accountability. So we'll be right back. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this exciting episode of The Public Affair. My very special guest, Brittney Garrett. Now, before we continue, I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just a few more of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. This episode is brought to us by Bandas Hauling Service with Julian and Anna Banda. That's right. They rent dump trailers. You fill it up, they haul it away. They also do junk removals and tree brush removals, and they haul cars in and out of town. They also offer roll-off dump services as well. Perfect for those big get-togethers. Perfect for your own cleaning. Listen, one thing about Bandas Hauling Service is they are 100% reliable. Julian and Anna Banda, call the number on the screen. Save the number. You're going to need it when your car breaks down and you need a tow, and they're the best. Bandas Hauling Service, thank you so much for all you do for me on the show. Of course, to Chefito's Kitchen with Al Gutierrez and Adriana Gutierrez. They serve the best in Latin cuisine, including arroz con gandules, Cuban sandwiches, plátano maduro, chicken skewers. They got food from Cuba, Peru, Puerto Rico, Mexico, all over the place. Best Spanish food in town exists at Chefito's Kitchen, and they are here at Union Grove. You can also ask for catering services as well for your upcoming events to Chefito's Kitchen. Al Gutierrez, Adriana Gutierrez, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Sid Rodriguez at Elite Barbershop. Listen, my appointment's tomorrow. Brittney, she's only available Tuesday. All right. But my appointment is tomorrow. Sid Rodriguez. Make sure you call the number on the screen or download the Squire app. Walk-ins are welcome as well. He has Marcus Guerrero, Chris Reyes, Santos Cordova, David Rodriguez, Isaac Chavez, Isai Reyes, Sam Ceballos, and Kayla Chapa, making you look at snacks I have for more than 260 episodes of the show. They're located at 135 North Hewitt Drive, Suite 121, Elite Barbershop. Thank you for all you do for me and the show, bro. And of course, to Soko Soccer Academy with Dominic Gutierrez and Ariana Gutierrez. They're located on Franklin Drive. They offer team, small group, and individual skills training, and they have elite skills training to make your kids superb star athletes and some of the best daycare services in town. I always say that you guys should get your kids involved with this business if you want to keep them active and social and out of trouble. Soko Soccer Academy is definitely the establishment. Dominic Gutierrez, Ariana Gutierrez, thank you guys so much for all you do for me and the show. I truly appreciate it. All right, guys, we're back with my very special guest, Brittney Garrett. First of all, how are you feeling?
I'm good.
Are you
I'm
good?
Yeah.
You're not nervous? Okay, good. I almost made an inappropriate joke, but I'm not going to because what to you is an alcoholic?
To me, as an alcoholic, I mean, they have different definitions. I guess, to me, I mean, my opinion on it is, you can't just have one.
Okay.
Yeah, when you can't just sit there and just drink a beer
Okay.
and be okay with it.
Sure.
I mean, I say that, but then again, it's like I know somebody. People will be sober for like 5 years, and then they'll have just one.
Okay.
And then that one would just lead.
Just lead to more.
Yeah,
and more.
yeah, maybe not that night, but eventually.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, like I guess alcoholic. Yeah, we just can't control our drinking.
Sure.
Yeah, there's no
mainly
control.
just dependent on it.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah.
When I was exposed to alcoholism, I can recall the person drinking a beer as soon as we woke up.
Oh, yeah, that would be a proper definition
like
right there.
before eggs, before sausage, before bacon, before toast, before pancakes, before anything.
anything, really,
It was
anything in your
cracking
life.
open a beer, and I was like, And I remember people telling me the only way you can cure a hangover is to keep drinking beer.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, no, that doesn't sound like.
And it comes a cycle.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like that's how that works. You know what I mean? Because listen, when I'm hungover on my mimosas, the last thing I want is another mimosa.
Yeah.
I need water and I need crackers and Gatorade. That's what I need. You know what I mean? We spoke in 2021. We mentioned in the beginning of the show. When you called me back in 2021, you wanted to come on and talk about your alcoholism. I remember that. And you were drunk when you called me.
Yes.
When you look back at that conversation, are you happy that we didn't do it back in 2021? Or what made you feel equipped to even have the conversation about it, even though you were still drinking?
So the first question, I'm glad we did not. We did not.
So you trusted me?
Because I'm not a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that was something too why I think I waited so long to reach out to you now in my recovery. Because I don't want to. I mean, but the thing is, don't get me wrong. People relapse. It happens. It happens.
Yeah. And it's sad.
Yeah, and it is.
It's
It is.
sad.
It
It's
is
very
very
sad.
sad. And so I say that like I didn't want to contact you in case I know like I was serious about my recovery. Not so much that, but just to make sure I had the right, right set of words. You know, saying the right things to say about recovery. But yeah, no. And why I reached out to you, I do have no idea.
You're just drunk.
Yeah. So I will say during those years, I was still very damaged. I was still very, I was not right in my mind back then. Yeah, that's why I was drinking so much.
Sure.
I had not fixed my trauma from my accident and other things too. I was in some really bad toxic relationships. I mean, when you're in addiction, you bring chaos to your life.
Sure.
You bring toxic relationships to you, whether it's relationships or friendships. You just bring chaos, man. Chaos in your life.
Can I be like tough on you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, a lot of people reach out to me, you know, and they have their own reasons why they want to come on the show, and I'm for everybody. You know what I mean? I knew when you called me back in 2021, there was just a lot of like contradictions in your words. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was a lot of just like inconsistencies, and I could have put you on the show and it would have been a spectacle, right?
Yeah, no, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then we would have been drinking behind the scenes and taking shots. And something in my gut, Brittney told me, don't do that. Do you know what I mean? And just lay off of her. Don't return her call. To me, and we didn't know each other. This is actually our first time actually meeting in person.
Yes.
I just knew on the phone, like I was like, no, she's not right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and maybe because I had my own experience with, you know, having conversations with an alcoholic, because I was close with one.
Yeah.
You know, I just it was triggering for me. If that makes sense. I'm not trying to make it about me at all. You know what I mean? But the conversation that you and I had was so triggering for me just by a lot of the things that you were saying to me on the phone.
Yeah.
You know, because you even brought up the accident.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly on the phone, you were even saying, I was drinking during that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm happy now that you can come on and you're of sound mind and you're celebrating 2 years of sobriety. So, you know, thank God. I'm just so happy that back in 2021, you know, we didn't go through with that.
Yes.
And I'm happy to know that while I did shove you off, you know what I mean?
Much,
I did. You know what I mean? I'm happy that we got reconnected now. And, you know, you just look great.
Yes.
Can I just tell you that? You look fantastic.
Thank you.
And I love seeing you celebrate your sobriety. I really, really do. Because this is such a disgusting thing that people go through. And you know, people joke about it and no, they don't have a problem, this, that, and the third. But one of the things, if I'm not mistaken, in your steps to recovery is acknowledging that you have a problem. Isn't that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
that is.
So I just wanted to just put that disclaimer out there. Okay. I shelved you back in 2010. I did. You know,
I would have done the same thing. I mean, a lot of people actually, even my own family did that to me back then.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, no hard feelings at all on that.
What was your biggest struggle in maintaining recovery? Because here's the thing, there's temptations everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And then you want to come on the public affair, you know I'd be litty kitty on this show.
Yeah.
But today I did not drink. You know, because I did not drink today.
Yes,
this weekend I had one mimosa.
Okay.
Shout out to my boy Brandon. I had one mimosa. half of it. Okay.
Yeah.
But what would you say your biggest struggles in maintaining recovery are?
Biggest struggle. Man. I would say building new relationships, probably. You know, I've been single now since I've gotten out of rehab. I've dated a few guys here and there, you know. But it gets lonely, you know, like it does get really lonely, and it's just the boundaries though that I set with myself. As far as my friend circle, my family circle, like I don't want people around me who are drinking. That's just one of my boundaries that I have to have. Now I know some people that are sober and in recovery, and they're okay with it.
Sure.
They're okay with their significant other drinking, and
Yeah.
well, that works for you, but for me, I know what works for me, and that is, you know, keeping those boundaries of not having people around me. So that I would say that's one of my struggles.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, in early recovery, work was hard. Whenever I first got out of rehab, because, you know, you go from being in a bubble
Okay.
of no stress, no work stress, no family stress, bills.
Girl, then you work at Amazon.
Yeah. That.
I used to Uber, so I know who's working at some Amazon.
Yes,
They
it
would
is.
stress me out too.
It can be
Shout out to Amazon.
Yes.
Shout out to Amazon.
Yeah, I do. I love my job.
Oh, yeah. You seem to
I
really
can
like
say that my job helps keeps me sober. Honestly.
Oh, really?
I have a lot of support.
Amazon?
I have a lot of support. Alice 3, at my location.
okay.
I have a lot of support from my team.
That's
from the
fantastic.
people I work
That
with,
is, yeah.
and then two, I have people since I've gotten out of rehab. When I first got out, I wasn't really vocal about it. I really didn't let people know why, because I took a leave from Amazon. I'd only been with Amazon for 6 months. I took a leave. They paid. I got short-term disability, and they paid for my rehab.
Oh,
yeah.
Shout out to Amazon.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All them Prime subscriptions coming in. Pay for that rehab. Okay. Yes.
Dude, yeah.
Coming in clutch.
So it's like it's
Yeah.
a very good company to work for. And then
That's good.
so like now, like actually I just onboarded my first class in a long time, and I let them know about that. I waited a little bit because you don't want people knowing your business. You don't want people knowing that you suffered from
People are quick
addiction.
to
That
judge,
you
and
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
embarrassing. That's
Oh,
embarrassing.
100%. And now I'm at the point in my recovery. Obviously, that's why I'm on this show talking with you about it, because I'm okay with it. I'm comfortable in my skin.
I love that for you.
And yeah, thank you. And I'm okay with talking about it too, because so many people suffer from addiction. So
Yeah.
many people, and a lot of people you don't even know it, especially
Right.
alcohol, because alcohol is legal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it is really sad. So.
But it's also like not acknowledged when I bring up culture. In a cultural setting, because even like I'm Hispanic, right?
Yeah.
And so for us, we just grow up and that's the drunk uncle, and that's the cokehead cousin. That's just what they do. That's just how they are. Well, no, they have a problem. You know what I mean? They absolutely have an issue that needs to be addressed and that needs to be acknowledged. And it's one of the frustrating things I found when I was exposed to addiction was being the only person that was telling the person, you have a problem, that this is an issue. Do you know what I mean? And the other people around saying, no, they don't. And I'm like, well, yeah, they do. You know what I mean?
Denial. Everybody's always in
It's
denial.
horrible.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
It is.
For you, what would you say the biggest hindrance in your recovery is? Because you mentioned just a second ago, you can't be around alcohol. Right, like you can't be around people that are drinking.
Okay. Now I can.
Okay, clarify.
Now,
Yes. Okay,
my
okay.
early recovery, they say change your people, places, and things.
Okay.
So that's urgent in your early recovery.
Sure.
So like now, I went to my first concert. Of course, my son went with me. My son's my sidekick. He's 13 now. So if I go to a concert, he's going. If I'm going on vacation, he's going.
He's going, okay.
And he is my biggest supporter. He holds me accountable.
That's so
yeah.
great,
I remember. So the first time I got out of rehab. I got home in September. My friend Mari had a Christmas party, right? And this was the first party I was going to. They were drinking. People were drunk. You know what I'm saying? It was a good party. You know what I mean? But of course, there's alcohol at every party. You know.
Sure.
And I remember I was holding a red Solo cup, and my son came up. He goes, "What are you drinking, Mom?" I was like, "Drinking soda, Waylon." He's like,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Put me in check real quick.
Yeah.
So it's like now, I'm okay. Like I go to concerts.
Okay.
Do I prefer not to be in that setting? Like you're not gonna find me in a bar.
Yes. Okay.
You're not gonna find me just at some like random Friday party drinking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But like
sure.
concerts, certain family gatherings, like I'm okay to be around it. I just would prefer not to.
I
Now,
understand. And it's so good that you have your son. I wanna ask a question that I hope you don't find judgmental. But did your addiction ever become dangerous in your motherhood, maybe towards your son?
I wouldn't say became dangerous. And if you want me to really put on the table, I've had CPS in my life twice. So that was hard on me. That was very hard on me. And the thing is, it's like you never think that it's going to be in your life until that you're in addiction and until that it happens. And once they're in your life, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard. But you know, I've always given my son, like, I've always been a great mother. I've never done it around him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's always had the best childhood. And if you were to ask him, he'd say the same thing. But yes, I did have some struggles through it, some hard struggles.
Well, especially because you said that, you know, the alcohol led to like cocaine and heroin and some hard drugs. You
know?
That's not some weed that you just buy, you know, somewhere in the north and call it a day. You know what I mean? And so I wonder how in your addiction were you able to conceal that from him? You know,
what we call it is a functional addict.
Oh, okay.
Functional. I always had a job. Always had a good job. I always made money. Sometimes I was working 2 jobs. Always had money. So I would just say it was more functional till you're not functional anymore.
Wow.
You can only be functional for so long.
Wow.
Yeah, you can only keep afloat for so long to the point that it'll finally eat you. Sometimes it takes longer for others. Sometimes people, man, within 6 months they lose everything.
Sure.
So it took me years. It took quite a few years for me to finally crumble and lose just about everything to realize, okay, like I gotta get help.
Were you ever scared that you would lose your relationship with him over it?
Yes and no. Me and his dad, we have a very good relationship.
That's good.
His dad is amazing. He's such a great father.
Shout out to Dad,
and so he was always there. And I mean, I think he knew that I had a good heart and I was a good mom. So as far as that, no, I feel like because of his dad and keeping that relationship with me and making sure that I was in my son's life, I never feared that. Plus my parents, they're amazing. They're amazing grandparents. So having my parents too actively in my son's life definitely helped me through my addiction.
I'd love to hear through this conversation that it sounds like you have a really good village behind you.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
yeah.
And
It sounds
it
like
takes that. It really does.
100%, yeah.
Because, you know, I've recently had people reach out to me and I'm asking about relapse. And it's like, man, like it happens. Relapse happens through addiction.
Oh, yeah.
It's what you do when you relapse. Do you continue or do you say, okay, hey, I messed up. I relapsed. I messed up and just get back to it, you know?
Yeah, sure.
But having my parents, like, not everybody has that. And I realize, like, right now I'm in a class. Thank God it's my last class before I get off probation. Yeah. And we're having family night next week. Oh, okay. And, like, so to hear some people say that they don't have anybody to bring, I'm just like, man, like,
that's heartbreaking.
I'm so blessed that I have my parents and my son that are there for me, you know, because there's been some times through these 2.5 years of sobriety that it's been tough. And my mom always checking in on me. Like whenever I've had a rough day, like so recently I went for this job and I didn't get it. And it's okay. I know God has better plans for me. And it's kind of was going to a way that I didn't want to go anyway. So
sure.
at the end of the day, it's all good. But my mom calling me, checking me, hey, you all right? You want to come out and visit us? Do we need to, you know what I'm saying? Do you need to come out here? Are you okay? And yes, it almost feels like I'm being like I'm a baby, but at the same time, I know what her intentions are to make sure that I'm okay and I'm not going to relapse.
Because when something like that happens and you face disappointment, it can very much lead to relapse. Yeah. I'm having PTSD having this conversation.
Really? Oh, man.
Well, I've been involved in it. And I can remember bad things happening to this person and me, oh my God, they're going to relapse. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, they're going to go back to drinking. Oh my God, they're going to snort coke again. Like, I remember that. And I remember being, like, I'm talking on the other side of it.
Yes.
So stressful. Like, I remember missing work. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, just to make sure said person is okay. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking terrible. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah. But see, I like to hear the other side of people because I'm pretty sure I put people through that.
Yeah.
You know what
Brittney,
I'm saying?
I'll tell you this, girl, and then, you know, because I want to keep it all about you. And first of all, thank you for laying so much things out on the table and being honest with us. I really do appreciate that. But on the other side, when I'm the one that's trying to be the consoler, I guess, it almost sucks to say that I'm glad that those parts of my life are over. It was so consuming.
And it's over because of friendship's end, or
Well, it affected our friendship, and we are no longer friends.
Okay.
And so I've not.
And
I've
that's
not,
hard.
Well, it was
That is
hard.
hard.
It was hard, and I haven't spoken to this person now. I do wish everybody well in their life. You know what I mean? And I'm at a point in my life right now where I don't harbor any ill will or nothing like that, especially in the world that we're living in. You know what I mean? Like I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody. But you know, for me, when I reflect back on it, and even hearing the conversation, it's just there's so many similarities that you're bringing up that was going on.
Yeah.
And I will never forget the days of just like losing sleep, constantly worrying about this person, you know, wanting to just come over when something bad happened just to be there. But then at the end of the day, and you, I'm sure, can agree with this, it all has to be laid on your lap to want to change.
Yes.
I learned from the situation, Brittney, that there was nothing that I can do because that person did not want to A, acknowledge that they had a problem, or B, change. That was just it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that because I know this is going to get back to them. But
Yeah, no,
I'm
I mean,
not-
no,
yeah,
dude, it's the truth.
It's the truth. I'm not
It's
saying this
100%.
to, you know, pour salt on any wounds or nothing like that. I'm just saying this was just my experience with it. It was a very disgusting experience. I don't want to say that I don't want to go through it again, because when it's somebody that you love, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you
you
want
can't help it.
to be there for
You
them.
have
You know
to,
what I mean?
yeah,
And you're supposed to be
it's
a
hard.
good support system, but I don't know, man. I'm trying to press delete on that
Yeah.
part of my life.
Well, I mean, I
Yeah.
hope the person that you are talking about, I mean, if they are watching this, I hope that maybe if they're not sober right now, that maybe in
Yeah.
the future that they will be. Because part of when I was in rehab, there was people that I reached out to and let them know, hey, look, I'm sorry for what I did when I was in my addiction. I'm sorry for the names I called you. I'm sorry for the behavior. I'm
Yeah.
sorry if I hurt you. So maybe who you are talking about.
Yeah.
Just pray that maybe one day they will get sober and they'll come to you.
I
you know?
just hope that, you know, again, I've moved on. You know, we're in different directions in our
Yeah.
life now, and they were a very good friend of mine, and we just
Yeah,
we don't
sometimes you gotta cut ties.
we don't
That's what you
communicate. I
gotta
had to
do.
cut ties, and that
You
was the
got
hardest
to
part.
sometimes,
But
man.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that was just it.
Yeah.
so I wish, and for context, I wish everybody well. No, I do. I'm not even
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to be funny.
Yeah,
I wish
no, for
everybody
sure.
well, and hope that their journey, you know, will be fruitful for them. Okay. Now, Brittney, back to you. Do you owe the community steps to your journey? And when I say that, right, a lot of people, okay, there's people on social media, like you were an actual addict, right? Like alcohol was consuming your life, and you know now you're recovering, which again, congratulations. 2.5 years, 2 years?
2.5, yeah.
2.5. Good,
Almost
yes,
2.5,
I
yeah.
want to make sure you get all your days, girl. Okay? So, you know, then there's the people that are on there that, you know, they'll drink occasionally at the bar on the weekends. They're not even real alcoholics, and now they're sober. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I feel like sobriety on social media has become more of a flex, and it's corroding
Yeah.
what like what it actually is. Does that make sense? Like people are actually recovering from.
Well, I mean,
or
you
sober
could
is-
still personally. I mean, like I feel like you could still be an alcoholic and only have those few drinks, because
Yeah.
what it is too is whenever you're not able to go 30 days, like if you cannot not drink,
Yeah.
then you have a problem.
I
But I
guess-
see where you're coming from. That like,
Yes.
for instance, there was this one guy I was following on Facebook,
Okay.
and I kind of got some weird vibes from him because the things that he would talk about, I was like, what? And then come to find out, he's like, hey guys, I relapsed. I'm checking myself into rehab,
Sure.
and I'm telling you, he has like. I couldn't tell you how many followers he has, right? And then he was like, yeah, some people were talking about it because, yes, I was broadcasting that I was sober when he was not. To me, now that's a no-no. Like
Okay,
you said,
okay,
though,
yes.
that's like trying to get publicity. That's trying to get the likes.
Yeah,
and,
the likes
And it's
and the
like,
attention,
yeah, and
yeah.
you're not even sober. Why are you
Brittney,
doing
here's the
this?
thing, because I like a mimosa on brunch.
Yeah.
On Sundays. You know, I'm not
Yeah.
getting trashed every Sunday. You know what I mean? But if I stop drinking mimosas for a month, I'm not gonna be like, okay, guys, I'm sober now. Like, okay,
Yeah.
well, I was just drinking. I wasn't an alcoholic. I was
Yeah,
just, oh
yeah.
yeah. Do you get where I'm going
Yeah,
with that?
yeah,
Okay. And so, like you were just saying, there's a lot of people that post their journey, and it's almost like just for the likes and the follows and things like that. The question is, do you owe the community your journey?
Do I owe the community my journey?
Do you owe them exposure to your journey? That's the question.
At first, I didn't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yes. I have people that reach out to me. People that, tell me, hey, look, I'm following you.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the things you share. Because you never know who's watching. You never
Mm-hmm.
know what somebody's going through. And at first, I posted here and there. Recently, I've started to post more.
Yes.
Just because I feel like I do have the knowledge. If I'm able to save somebody's life,
Uh-huh.
by all means, like, let me share my story. Let me
sure.
tell you what. But each person's different. Each person's different on how they handled their journey. I know when I first got out of rehab, I was staying in an Oxford sober house. That's kind of what helped me. Appreciate Oxford. Oxford House has saved my life. They changed my life. When I got out of rehab, I had no place to live. And so, I stayed in an Oxford sober house for the first, let me see. I just got my own place back in June.
Wow.
So that was a big
girl,
big
that
step.
was yesterday.
Right. Yeah, it just happened. Yeah. So I was in an Oxford sober house for the longest time. And so when you're in Oxford, you're required to go to NA or AA or some type of working the recovery, which is super important in early sobriety. So now I don't go to NA and I don't go to AA. Okay. I go to church. And I read books, but mainly Bible study and church is my my recovery, how I'm working my recovery. But where was I going with that? I don't know where I was going with that. about owing like the community, my recovery. Yeah. Yes. So now that I'm living by myself, I feel like this too helps my recovery by helping other people. You know, definitely talking about it and. Yeah.
Do you have a lot of temptation? Like, are there times where you might find yourself wanting to relapse after 2.5 years?
Yeah. I mean, especially because, dude, alcohol, it's on every corner. You know, now there's times that randomly, I'm driving past the store and I'm like, I might want a beer, and I'm just like, no, that sounds like a horrible idea, Brittney. It's a horrible idea. Sure. I was just actually having this conversation with my friend. She reached out to me about just tips on, how I deal with recovery, and because relapse is a big one. But I feel that every time that I do have a craving, and I fight that craving the next day, it's amazing. I feel like it's like a competition for myself. Yeah. And then too, I started going to the gym. Hello. Hello. Dude. I see you too on your.
I'm trying, girl.
Yeah.
We don't look like Denise, right?
Yeah, we don't. I'm working towards it.
Girl, her and her husband and her kids. Yeah. They are like they are ripped.
Yeah, dude, she's badass.
They are awesome. I love them. Yeah. Yeah. But the gym is a good outlet for you.
I feel like the gym helps people who are not trying to drink because you don't want to feel like shit the next day.
Sure.
And if you drink, you're gonna feel like shit. You're gonna feel like shit. And then of course, if you feel like shit, you don't even want to go to the gym in the first place. Right. Sometimes, you know what I mean? So what makes you think you're going to go to the gym if you're hungover? You become
unproductive. 100%. Yeah. God, we're running out of time, and I hate this. Right. This is the part of the episode that I hate. But one last question for you, Brittney. How does your recovery feel after 2.5 years?
I feel like a badass.
Yeah.
Man.
You are giving badass aura. You
like
are, yeah.
A badass. I do, because, man, the fact that I don't have to have any mind-altering substance to be happy. Like, some people at work are always like, man, why are you so happy? And I'm like, dude, I quit drinking. Yeah. I quit drinking. Like, I don't take any medicine anymore. When I first got out of rehab, I did. I took like some mood stabilizer. Sure. I quit taking that. My therapist suggested that I stop taking 2 months after I move out into my new place, because that could be super overwhelming, Yeah. So I quit taking that last month, and man, I feel, I wouldn't say it's like a superpower, but I do feel like almost like,
I feel like a badass.
Yeah, badass.
Good for you, girl. I am really grateful that we took this hour for you to share some of your story. Yes. I hope that you have the opportunity to share more of your story. Yes. I truly hope that you can maintain sobriety for the rest of your life. Yes. Like we acknowledged, relapses do happen, but I want you to know that, we're supporting you. Like, we're here for you. You know what I mean? And we're going to be rooting for you in the background. And if you fall, which you won't, but if you do, yes. You just get right back up. Yeah, okay?
Thanks, Andrew.
Of course. Who could you, before we go, do you want to give any shout outs or anything to anybody? I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Definitely my parents, my mom, my dad, he just beat cancer, man. I didn't even talk on
Dad.
that.
Oh,
so, there was a lot that we didn't get to talk about, because there's things that happen in life that you can't control. Right. And that was something too that I felt like some people that, were you going to relapse? But you know what I'm saying? Right, you got to get through it. So my dad, man, he's another badass. That's where I get all my badasses from. Okay. It's from my dad, because he beat throat cancer. Yes. So and of course my son Waylon, he's 13. He plays football at China Spring. He's a badass too. My friend Heather and her parents for always just being there through me. They were there when I was rough. Yeah. And all my Amazon people. that's about it.
Do you have a lot of your old friends from when you were drinking, or are they all gone?
So yeah, there are some friends that I from my drinking time that I still keep in contact
Still
with.
around. Okay.
It's just more of just we're so busy in life, you know what I'm saying? Actually making plans and following through with them. It's like just a lot going on in my life, but I still keep in contact with some people.
Well, Brittney, God, thank you again for coming.
I appreciate it,
I'm
man.
really happy, and I hope that anybody that is watching this, if you guys are struggling with an addiction or anything, just reach out.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like I said, I've had quite a few people reach out to me. This is something too that I'm wanting to feel like it will help me with my recovery is helping other people. So yeah, if anybody needs help, you can always reach out to me. I'm always just one call away, and I'm willing to help anybody who's trying to fight the addiction just like I did. So
Yes, that is a fantastic idea, and I'm happy that you're alive and well.
yes,
From your car crash to your addiction to everything. You definitely overcome some shit in your life.
Yes,
You know what I mean? It can't get any worse than that.
I'm telling you,
It can't get any worse than that, Brittney.
Rough days are over.
You're good, okay? Well, Brittney, thank you again for coming on to the show. I truly
thanks.
appreciate it. Best of luck to you in your journey. And I hope to see, more stories about your recovery.
All right,
Yes.
awesome. Thank you,
Well,
Andrew.
thank you guys again so much for tuning into this episode. If you are somebody who is struggling with addiction, we encourage you to reach out to a loved one. Number one, acknowledge that you have the issue and reach out to your resources here in the community as well. They're easily accessible on the internet. So I just encourage you guys to do that. I'm sure Brittney could agree.
I do.
Yes. Well, thank you guys again for tuning into this episode of The Public Affair. I've got more on the way. Now, before we go, I'm just going to give a shout out to just a few more of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. I got sponsors, girl. Thank God. I want to give a huge shout out to Jeffrey Monreal with Boyo Box and Audio, home for all your LED needs and audio accessories, installation of stereos, door speakers, and audio systems. He also specializes in building custom subwoofer enclosures and so much more. He's done my tent. He's going to do my LED lights in my room. He's done my bass system in my car. He's put backup cameras in my car. He's put auto start in my car. He's done everything. He's the go. He's everything. Jeffrey Monreal, make sure you guys hit him up. Se habla español. Make sure you get your appointment booked and go see him. Boyo Box and Audio, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode. Of course, the Ana Limones, where Hummingbird party backdrops and decor. Call for all party decor, including beautiful balloon props, giving an extra flair to your party or event with a number of wooden custom backdrops as well, balloon arches, and so much more. That woman puts her blood, sweat, and tears into all her decor, making sure that your events stand out amongst the rest. Hummingbird party backdrops and decor, thank you so much for all you do for me and the show. And of course, the JC Painting and Drywall LLC with Julio Arriaga. Contact for all drywall and beautiful new paint for your property, both commercial and residential. His work is honest, true, and can guarantee 100% satisfaction. Truly living by his slogan, just imagine and we can make it happen. Se habla español, mi amigo Julio. Muchas gracias por todo. Thank you so much to all of my friends. Thank you guys again so much for tuning into this episode of The Public Affair. We've got more on the way to Brittney Garrett. Thank you for coming on and sharing your story of sobriety, addiction, and accountability. We truly appreciate it. And whatever you see me doing on Mimosa Sunday, don't forget to
Mind your business.
Mind your business and keep it between us. That's it.